Go Language Programming, Chapter 5, Unit 3. In this unit, we will cover type switch, what the purpose of the type switch is, and how it is used. So, a type switch is used for discovering the type of an interface. Okay, as we have been talking about interfaces, um, basically, we discussed in the previous unit that empty interface could take any data type, any kind of a data type that you provided to it. Okay, but then how can you find out what is the underlying concrete data type is? And that's where this type switch becomes very handy. So a type switch basically is made with a switch statement. So a switch can be used to discover the dynamic type of an interface. So dynamic type meaning that interface, as we just discussed, the empty interface can take all kind of types. Now and dynamically at runtime, this all this happens. So we can the type switch provides us a way to determine what type of parameter is passed to to certain function, which has the parameter of type interface or empty interface. So a type switch uses a syntax of type assertion, okay, with the keyword type inside the parentheses. So that's the syntax, basically. You basically have a notation that you provide the variable name of um, empty interface with the dot operator, and within the parentheses you give the type, whatever the type that you want to find. So it will basically tell us what type it is. Okay. um, the type assertion is an operation applied to the value of the interface. The value of the interface is going to be what? The value of the interface will be the parameter that is holding a certain type of data. So type switch compares the types instead of values. Okay. So basically that makes the type switch much more easier to find out exact type that is used for that particular uh, variable, which is of type empty interface. Okay, so let's look at in example 5-5. We first have a package main, so we can compile this code, and then we import fmt package, and then within this code we first create a struct of type employee, which has two fields in there, name and age. Name is of type string and age is of type int. And then we basically, very first thing that we do is to create an instance of type employee and initialize the data to each field in that struct, employee struct. Okay, and then we are at line number 12. We are using the anonymous function. Okay, so we are creating the body for the anonymous function. The body starts right here and ends right here. Okay, at line number 28. So so the body starts at line number 12 and ends at line number 28 for the anonymous function. And we assign the anonymous function to this variable. So this check type is a function type variable, because we are using a short declaration. So this check type is going to be a type of a function. Okay. In other programming languages, this may be considered as a function pointer, but here it is actually a variable of type function, because we are initializing it with the anonymous function. So within the body, so this anonymous function is taking the um, one one parameter. By the way, anonymous functions are also considered as inline functions, okay, or first class functions as well. So those are different terms used for anonymous function. So this anonymous function is taking one parameter of type interface. This is since it's empty right here, so that means we are creating a parameter I of type interface. Now within the body, we are using the type switch. That is the type switch right here. Okay, this is particularly a type switch right here. So we are saying that use this I, which is of type interface, and get the type of this I. And to get the type of this I, we have to use this parentheses. Within the parentheses, we put the keyword type in there. Okay, so that will give us the actual type of the this variable, or this parameter I. And all we are doing is assigning by using the short declaration to this variable called t. Okay, so whatever the type that we get, we assign it to t, and then we are using the set of case statements within the switch to determine what type this T is, because this I dot type, or within the parentheses, will tell us exactly what type of a parameter that was passed to this anonymous function. Okay, so if we pass the boolean, it will go to right here. If we pass the integer type, it will come to this case. And if pointed to an integer, it will come to this case. And if we pass a string, it will come to this case. And also it can even tell the user define types. So if we pass the employee, which we have declared the struct of type employee, it could come and tell us that it is that particular type. Okay, that's what the type switch does. And then, since this is a function, check type holds the function. So we are passing the some parameter to it. So very first one, we just pass true, so that's a boolean type. So it will come to this first case. And then in the line number 30, we are passing 20, so that is an integer. So when this I, when this I will become type integer. So by doing the I dot type, it will we will know what we will know that it is integer. So it will come to this case at line number 16. And then we pass the string. So basically, it will come to line number 20, that case. And then we are passing uh, the instance of a employee struct, which is emp. And then that means it will come to this case at line number 22, and it will print this out right here. So these are the things that it will print. So basically, that's how the type switch works in Go language. And that concludes this unit number 3, chapter number 5.